So I'm going to ask you to leave.
I'm gonna say no.
Okay, and then you'll go to jail.
Do what you gotta do.
Okay.
You gonna take me to jail right here?
Well,
Go ahead.
If you're serious.
I was only seconds away from being handcuffed, and all I was holding was a weed whacker. The crazy part? The guy who called the police didn't even own the property. The homeowner was John, an 82-year-old retired mechanic. He lived on a small pension and quietly donated money to a local orphanage whenever he could. But after a health scare, he could no longer keep up with his yard. The grass got out of control, and the city posted a notice on his door. Clean it up within 48 hours or face a fine he couldn't afford. When I heard about it, I volunteered to help for free. I had just started cutting the tall grass when John's neighbor came rushing over. He complained about the noise and demanded that I leave. I said no, I wasn't about to abandon an elderly man who needed help. So the neighbor pulled out his phone and called 911. A few minutes later, a police officer arrived. The neighbor looked proud of himself. I handed the officer the city's notice and explained the situation. The officer read it, looked at John standing quietly on the porch, then turned back to the neighbor. His face changed immediately. "Sir," he said, "calling emergency services over someone helping an elderly resident is not what 911 is for." The neighbor's smile vanished. The officer nodded at me and told me to continue. So I got back to work. A few hours later, the yard was completely cleared, the walkway was visible again, and John's home looked cared for once more. If you believe we should always look out for our elders, type respect in the comments and follow for more stories like this.